Your support truly means everything to us. With nearly 90% of our viewers still not subscribed, we need your help to keep crafting emotional and meaningful stories. Tap that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Drop a comment with your city weed. Love to know where you're watching from. Now let's begin. When I first crossed paths with Mia, I thought I had found something extraordinary. She was not only beautiful but also intelligent, charismatic, and incredibly driven. Our connection sparked instantly at a friend's gathering, where we laughed over shared jokes about office life. It didn't take long before we became inseparable. Over time, we built a life together, the house, the vacations, the dreams for the future. I believed we were genuinely happy. Like in many stories, things started to change slowly. It began with small, almost insignificant details. Late nights at the office, mysterious smiles at her phone, and a growing distance between us that I couldn't quite close. Mia worked in PR, a fast-paced field where high-profile events and constant socializing were part of the job. Her role required charm, but lately it seemed to demand all of her attention. Whenever I brought up her late hours or the new perfume she had begun wearing, she brushed off my concerns with a light laugh and a comment like, "You worry too much." But I wasn't just worrying. I was noticing. I noticed how her phone was always face down on the table, how she'd locked it with a passcode she refused to share, and how the scent of her perfume sometimes lingered stronger than it should have if she were truly at the office. The breaking point came when she claimed she had to work late on our anniversary. It wasn't just the excuse that stung, it was how she said it, without any pretense of guilt. I knew something wasn't right, but I still didn't have solid proof. So, like any man in my position, I started paying closer attention. I didn't want to accuse her without facts. I used a family sharing app she had forgotten was active to track her phone's location. I went through her car when she left it unlocked one evening. One night while she slept, I sifted through her emails. That's when I found the messages. We weren't overtly explicit, but the tone was undeniable. There were late-night emails to a colleague named Adrene, private jokes, intimate language, and phrases like, "You make me feel alive again." That clearly didn't belong in a professional setting. As I scrolled through the messages, my chest tightened, and it felt like the room had drained of air. I wasn't proud of what I did next, but I hired a private investigator. If Mia was deceiving me, I needed hard evidence. 2 weeks later, the investigator's report arrived, and it was crushing. Photos of Mia and Adrene leaving a hotel together, arms wrapped around each other, pictures of them at a bar, his hand on her back. There was no denying it anymore. Wife was having an affair. The fury, devastation, and humiliation that consumed me were overwhelming. I had given her everything: my trust, my devotion, my love, and she had thrown it away for some smug colleague. But instead of confronting her immediately, I decided to wait. I wasn't going to confront her without making sure she and Adrienne understood the full impact of their betrayal. Mia's company was preparing for a large year-end celebration. She had been talking about it for weeks. "It's the perfect chance to network," she'd said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Everyone important will be there, including Adrienne." I realized she had even suggested I attend with her as her +1, likely to maintain appearances. Without hesitation, I agreed, already plotting my next move. As the days to the party ticked down, I planned everything down to the smallest detail. I had saved all the damning emails and photos onto a USB drive, even printing out some of the most incriminating ones as backup. I made sure to dress sharply for the event, wanting to exude confidence and composure. If I was going to confront her, I was going to do it right. The night of the party, Mia looked stunning in a sleek black dress. She kissed me lightly on the cheek before we left, her lips brushing against my skin with a sharp, almost painful precision. "Thanks for coming with me," she said, her voice sweet but tinged with something I couldn't place. I forced a smile, my stomach twisting with anticipation. The venue was a lavish ballroom adorned with sparkling chandeliers and filled with well-dressed professionals sipping champagne. Mia introduced me to her colleagues, her hand resting casually on my arm as we mingled. I played the role of the supportive husband, shaking hands and engaging in small talk until I saw him. Adrien. He was tall, with a self-assured smile and a kind of charm that likely made him well-liked at work. When Mia saw him, her eyes lit up and my blood boiled. "Adrien, this is my husband Mara," Mia said, her voice unnervingly bright. Adrien extended his hand and I shook it firmly, locking eyes with him. His discomfort was evident, and I couldn't help but enjoy watching him squirm. As the evening went on, I bided my time, waiting for the right moment to act. It came during the speeches, when the CEO called Mia and Adrien up to the stage to recognize their work on a recent campaign. They stood side by side, smiling for the crowd, and my heart raced as I stepped forward. The USB drive clenched tightly in my hand. "Excuse me," I said, my voice cutting through the applause. The room fell silent as all eyes turned toward me. Mia's smile faltered, confusion flickering across her face. Adrien's expression remained stoic, but I noticed a flash of panic in his eyes. "I just wanted to take a moment to congratulate my wife and her colleague," I began, my tone calm, but deliberate, not just for their professional accomplishments, but for their personal ones as well. Mia's face drained of color, and Adrien's smile froze. The CEO glanced between the three of us, clearly unsure of what was happening. "See," I continued, pulling the USB drive from my pocket, "while they've been impressing all of you with their work, they've also been busy sneaking around behind my back." Gasps rippled through the crowd as I held up the drive. "This contains emails, photos, and more that prove their extracurricular activities." Mia's hand flew to her mouth, her eyes wide with shock. Adrien took a step forward, likely to say something, but I cut him off. "Sit down, Adrien. You've said enough." He froze, and I turned toward the CEO. "I'm sure you'll want to review this, considering the ethical implications." The CEO, his face a mix of disbelief and anger, nodded stiffly. "I'll take that," he said, reaching for the USB. I handed it over, then turned back to the room. "I apologize for disrupting your evening," I said, my voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through me. "But I believe you all deserve to know the truth." With that, I walked out, leaving Mia and Adrien to face the fallout. The whispers and murmurs followed me all the way to the door. When Mia returned home that night, her face was tear-streaked, her makeup smudged. "How could you?" she demanded, her voice breaking. "You humiliated me in front of everyone. How could I?" I shot back, my voice rising. "How could you, Mia? How could you betray me like that after everything we built together?" She crumpled onto the couch, sobbing. "It was a mistake," she repeated over and over. "I didn't mean for it to happen. A mistake is forgetting our anniversary," I said. Coldly, "What you did was a choice over and over again. And now you get to live with the consequences." The fallout was swift and unforgiving. Adrien was fired within days, and Mia was placed on probation. Her reputation within the company was in ruins, and soon our friends and family learned the truth. Mia begged for my forgiveness, asking for another chance, but I couldn't. I filed for divorce and moved out, leaving her to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. As for me, I started fresh. I think it wasn't easy, but I refused to let her betrayal define me. I found a new job, made new friends, and eventually met someone who reminded me what love was supposed to feel like, someone who valued loyalty and honesty as much as I did. Mia's life never truly recovered. The last I heard, she was working a lower-level position at a different company. Her ambition and charm no longer enough to erase the stain of her actions. Adrien, too, faded into obscurity, cautionary tale for anyone who thought mixing business with pleasure was a good idea. In the end, I didn't just survive her betrayal, I thrived in spite of it. And that, I realized, was the best revenge of all. So guys, if you liked today's story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.